Hi Eileen. So just going to go over what we did there the first lesson there. So we did 2 chords and spoke about a bit of strumming as well and a couple of other things. So we'll just get straight into it. So E minor is the first one we'll do. So that's going to be second finger right up to the fret, and that's the first thing. Always get your fingers as close to the fret as you can get them, right? You should kind of almost feel the fret under your fingers without being on the fret. So second fret on the 4th string, so that's 1st string, 6th string. Okay, so that's the 4th string up. Then first finger comes in right behind that 2nd fret on the A string, the 5th string. So when you're holding them down, make sure it's the very tip of your finger down on them, right? So just put a mark there, so you, not sure if you can see that, but it's just below the finger, the fingernail, right on the tip. And make sure you're standing them up straight, so that, you know, if they're slanted, then it's going to be touching other strings, right? So that's got to be standing straight up, and always a good amount of pressure, really squeeze them tight. Okay, so there's E minor, and when you're going down through it, just check one string at a time. So you're likely going to get a bit of maybe something like that. So just if that's happening, you can't really get your first finger any closer, so just squeeze it down harder. Basically, the closer you are to the fret, the less pressure you need to get a clean note. So if I just hold this there, same pressure, move it back. Right, so then, but if I just squeeze harder, it'll be fine. So, okay, so then the next one was G. So keep in mind that what really needs to be practiced is not just the chords themselves, but going from one chord to another chord. So G is, we're going to go from E minor to G. So that's, we'll get the middle finger out of there. Now, first finger can go right up to the fret, second finger, 3rd fret on the 6th string, then 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the 1st string. Okay, so then the main thing you need to be able to do is to be able to strum some kind of a rhythm and change the chords in that without interrupting the rhythm, right? So there's a fair bit of work in that, because the chord changes kind of have to be automatic, right? And for that, you just need to repeat them over and over and over again. So when it comes to strumming, right, we'll just use a pleck for now. If you don't want to use a pleck, generally you just go down with the fingers. That kind of puts your thumb down here, and then up with the thumb. Okay, we'll use a pleck for now. So we're going to just go 4 beats each bar, or each kind of round of the rhythm, right? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the main thing is that this movement doesn't stop, right? You may or may not hit all of them, right? So, but you never stop this or speed it up or anything like that. This movement has to be completely consistent. So you can do any number of different things with that, right? By just skipping certain ones, right? So we'll just do a simple version of it now, right? We'll just go 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So the only difference with the 3 and 4 is that we're allowing the pleck to hit off the strings on the way up, whereas the other one's 1, bringing it back up without hitting it, right? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and change up to G, and always change the chord a little bit early, because even when they're really fast, it's never going to take no time at all to change a chord. So it's more important to be on time for the next one than it is to hold on to the previous one all the way through. So just give yourself some extra time and change it a little bit early, maybe on the 4th beat, right? So 1, 2, 3, change, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the thing about doing strumming like this is if you, as long as your hand is moving steady to the tempo, to the rhythm, nice and regular, if you miss one that you meant to hit, or you hit one that you meant to miss, it really doesn't matter all that much. That'll be just a variation. It's not, you wouldn't even call that a mistake, because everything you do, once this is established, once this movement is going, everything you do is just going to be somewhere on the beat, and it's going to be in rhythm, and it's going to make sense. So so that's the main thing: changing one chord to the next and trying to keep that rhythm. And and if if you're struggling with the distraction of changing the chord, just stop the rhythm, hit each chord once, and change it, just to kind of get this little movement here into the muscles, into the muscle memory, so you don't have to think about it. Okay, so then the other couple of things I did, we did was just a couple of little techniques just to have a bit of fun with it as well, just to kind of approach the instrument in a different way to just strumming chords all the time. So 3 little techniques, and just mess around with these. You can do them anywhere on the fretboard and just see what happens. I'll give you a couple of examples as well. So the first one is a pull-off. So instead of hitting 2 notes, one, then the other, you can just hit the first one and then drag your finger off. So just drag your finger off to get the next one. Okay. Next one is a hammer-on. Okay, so that just, you need to kind of pull back a bit, hit the string. Now you can go from fret to fret as well, but we'll just start off on the open ones, right? So we'll hit it open, and then you gotta smack your finger down onto it, kind of fast and snappy. If it's too slow, the note just kind of kills off. So we got pull-offs, hammer-ons, and then slides. So the only trick with a slide is just to make sure you're keeping the pressure down as you're dragging it up. You kind of have to, you know, pull against your own friction just to make sure the note stays going. So a couple of little examples of that then would be this. Just a typical little phrase, right? So that's pull off on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, same on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then on the 2nd string, dragging up from 3rd fret to 5th fret. Then one more. You're just kind of hammering on an E minor there, right? So that's going to be open A string, open 5th string to 2nd fret. Oh, same on the 4th string, and then just an open 6th. And you can just kind of strum a chord at the end of it or whichever. But it's just to kind of give you a feel for, you know, other ways of going about it than strumming chords. Well, the main thing is strumming the chords, so just keep going back and forward on that. And I'll see you next time. All right, talk to you.